Track Wrestling here, Davenport, Iowa, with 2019 World Champion Tamyra Mensah-Stock clinic here. 22 girls. We were talking before the clinic. Your first one, there were two?
Not my first one, but at some point there was definitely two. And it was just like a brother and sister. It was funny. They got their own personal session that day.
What do you enjoy about doing clinics?
I think the energy that I bring and then the energy that they return to me, it's something that gets me excited to be a coach, because it's like a give and take, and I really appreciate how sponge-like they are, like how willing to work they are and how willing to have fun they are as well. And that's something that excites me in wrestling. Play hard, work hard. And that's something that I see in the clinics all the time. I'm like, wow, these girls really want to go live, but I'm here to teach them. So calm down. But yeah, it's just things like that make it so enjoyable.
Do you ever go live with campers?
Only twice. Actually, out of all the clinics, and I've done like probably over 30 clinics, I've only had them go twice, and they were begging for it. I'm like, why? So
how do you handle that though? I mean,
I give the people what they want. I give them what they want.
So how close do you go to full throttle then? At that point?
Like full throttle.
Yeah.
I tell them to go live, and it's like, it's fast goes. So like what Terry has us do, like 30-second goes, minute goes, and I'm having going them long. And sometimes a little bit overtime, you know? So. But
are they tangling with you? Does anybody ever want to tangle with you?
Yes, they do, and I tell them no. I tell them no, because the only reason why is because when I did a camp back in my hometown, this kid was wrestling me and he hurt himself, and I felt so bad, and my coaches were like, you know what? Alumni can't wrestle the kids at all again. I'm like, I understand why. Like, they were just trying to, like, I guess they got a little prideful and tried to do some weird psychedelic stuff, and they hurt themselves. So it's because of that. I don't want them to hurt themselves, and I don't want them to hurt me trying to do something weird. But if they're big enough, maybe, but really, no.
How much access did you have to high-level people, learning from them in a setting like this when you were growing up?
None.
None at all, huh?
None. I started when I was 15 years old. I didn't have access to them until I got to college. And I didn't even really know that there was a level in between high school and the Olympics. I was just like, Coach, I'm gonna be an Olympic champ one day. And then they're like, all right, we're gonna make that happen. I went to college, and then they started taking me to the Olympic Training Center. And I was like, what the heck is this? So that's when I started to be exposed, my sophomore year of college.
Do you remember some of the people that taught you along the way? Some people that you felt like showed some pretty good stuff to you that,
absolutely,
you know, in situations like this?
Absolutely. Aaron Claudio, Elena Periscova, Aaron Miller, who else? There are so many. Randy Miller, Veronica Carlson.
I'm not going to ask you to name them all, but...
Well, I remember Veronica Carlson, like, when I went to the Olympic Center for the first time, I chose her to be my partner, and she was hammering me. And I was just like, ugh, okay, ugh. And I just kept springing back up, and she was like, wow, you get up really fast. I'm like, aren't I supposed to? Like, we just kept going. And I remember that till this day, because like, she appreciated that I was eager to wrestle and ready to be there. And even though that elevation was killing me and she was killing me, I was excited to be there. And yeah, like, it was just people like that, just being in my ear, that I got to experience, and now I get to be one of them.
You mentioned you started at 15. How did it all start for you?
So my twin sister actually pulled me from track and was like, Tamyra, the coaches need some athletes to join the wrestling team. And I was like, the what? I'm in track and field, and in track and field, we wore hoops. I wore, like, my hair was permed. It wasn't like this. It was actually, like, slicked back, and it was, like, kind of like a waterfall, and it would bounce every time I ran. And I looked cute. And when she told me about this sport, wrestling, I said no, but I said that I would go to their 6 a.m. practices, because I love going to school early. And I watched the coaches coerce me and was like, hey, just put the shoes on, put this on, just try it a little bit. And within the first month, I wanted to quit. Like, I wanted to be done. And my twin had told me to wait till the first duel to decide whether or not I wanted to still wrestle. And once I had beat a state qualifier, and like, I went up 2 weight classes, by the way. Like, I was 138 and they put me in 165. And I got this girl into a double leg and pinned her, and I was like, ooh, I think I like this sport. I think I can carry on with this. And that first year, I got second at state. And then 2 years later, I got first and first as well. And back-to-back state champions with my twin sister our senior year.
What'd you run in track?
4x4, 4x2, the 100, 200, 400, triple jump, and long jump. I was a sprinter.
So you remember that feeling of hitting the first double?
Yeah, I do.
What was that like for you?
It was weird. It was really weird because it was in my gym that I never really competed in because I was always outside. And so that was the first time I was ever inside of a gym competing, and there was people yelling and I could actually hear them. Because in the 4x4 relay, I would go around the entire track, and at one point of the 300, you'd hear nobody. And the entire time I could hear them while I was on the mat, and they were like, hold her there, hold her. And I'm like, why? Why am I holding her here? And yeah, I remember that feeling, and it was cool. And I think that's one of the reasons why I still hang on to that, is because it was so cool, and it's one of the reasons that keep me going. So yeah.
You come from Texas. How have you seen? Texas was a leader in girls wrestling,
Yes.
one of the first states to sanction. But how have you seen things evolve in Texas in the last several years?
So they have 2 state champions now. Based off of like the one that I had growing up, they now have 2 state champions. So the fact that it's just grown that much to where they're trying to give everybody an opportunity to just be a state champion, that's phenomenal. Because there's still states, like here in Iowa, where they don't even have like a state championship for girls that's sanctioned. Yeah, because last week they still had like kind of a state championships. But just the fact that in the past 5 years, Texas now has 2 state champions in every single weight. It's phenomenal. That just tells me that, wow, like we don't even, like that's incredible. And one day I hope that they get a super champion. Because that would be so awesome if they bring 5A and 4A, or 5A and 6A, I don't remember what it was, but if they bring those together and just like bring a super champion. But I've seen it grow like that. I think that's the only way I've seen it grow. Oh wait, they have now there's other colleges that have women's wrestling. It's not just Wayland anymore. It's 2 other schools or 1 other school. I don't remember exactly, but now there's more colleges that have women's wrestling. So that's something that I've also seen evolve in Texas. I'm super proud that we just keep evolving.
How much does it affect you guys at the senior level when you see Division II, Division III, emerging sports status?
It affects me because it's going to be my future job, as well as it allows more people to compete on our level. Because when you get to college, a lot of people just think it's just the college wrestling, but it's almost like we rely, like on the USA level, like the senior level, we rely on those college girls to come into our division and like wrestle us. Because if it's just us, I think I'm the only one outside of my weight class that's not in college. Well, no, Forrest also graduated, and okay, we got a few graduates, but we all went to college, and we all rely on those girls coming up because they're going to be our future as well. So we got to teach them, show them what's what, and how to do everything. And like we rely on the D1, the D2, the D3, not only for our jobs that we're going to need later on in our life, but also the ones that like the girls that they're going to bring up in that division as well, because they're going to make them better. It's not just going to be NAIA. They're going to make them better because they're going to be alongside of those men as well, and that'll definitely impact them.
You said you thought you went from age 15, high school, straight to the Olympics, and now you actually have a chance. It's right here.
Yeah.
You're two wins away from it, and it's coming off a pretty amazing year for you. What is this like, having it all right in front of you here in the next 6 months or so?
It's mind-blowing, and I have to stay calm and stay alert and stay ready. So I don't have it. I'm not an Olympian yet. I'm not the 2020 Olympian yet. And I have to remember that I want to be, that I can be, but I'm not yet. So I have to make sure that I'm still doing everything that I need to do, that's how I got here. So I just can't leave everything by the wayside. So I have to still go to practice. I still have to maintain my weight, all that stuff. And I have to still maintain my mindset and believe that I can do it. And it's so exciting. Like, I'm trying not to, because I'm in a different position than I was in 2016. 2016, my mindset was all over the place. I was younger back then, like in the wrestling aspect, and I didn't really understand the process. And now I've gone through it. I've actually qualified the weight. The weight is qualified, y'all. Like, it is, like, that was the big thing. I was the 2016 Olympic trials champion, and I didn't get to go to the Olympics because I didn't qualify the weight. This year, it's done. All I have to do is win the Olympic trials and trying to stay calm, because I know I can do it, but I gotta stay calm. I'm so excited though. Oh.
What did you learn from 2016 that can help you now?
To believe in myself, to believe in everything, to believe in the process, because I was physically capable. I remember I heard Rich Bender yelling at me, "Just take the shot!" And I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I think she might counter me in the match, hesitating. So I know that mindset was a huge factor for me, and that is something that has carried me these past 4 years into the position that I'm in now, and it has been phenomenal. It's helped me so much, and people have constantly reminded me that I need to make sure I have an attitude of gratitude. I need to make sure that I'm believing in myself, and it's been working. I think it's working.
You went from that to last year, where you went an entire year without a loss.
Oh gosh.
What were difference makers? What were turning point moments for you to get to that point?
Going out there and just leaving it on the mat, not having any regrets, just going out there and saying, yo, let go, let God. I've done everything that I could up until this point. Now I'm just gonna go out there and not even think about it, just wrestle. Because what I do in the practice room will reflect what I do on the mat. So just leaving it in God's hands, and of course, leaving it into what I've been doing, like just trusting the process. And with that, last year, I just kept going and going and going and going and going. And honestly, like, it's not all a blur. Like, I remember practically every single one of my matches because I was so in tune. And a few years before that, I wasn't in tune. I was just kind of like, where am I right now? Why am I here? Why am I wrestling right now? Whereas last year I was like, oh no, you're going down. I am going to pin you. I am going to turn you. I am going to tech you. So just being more aware of my matches was definitely like a big turning point for sure.
A couple weeks ago over in Italy, you took a loss, high scoring, I think criteria, right?
Oh yeah.
What were takeaways from that match and that tournament?
Not being consistent. Last year, like I said, like I had a mindset of a winner, and going into that tournament, I felt so much pressure. I was like, oh my gosh, everybody's gunning for me. I'm a world champ. Oh no, I just got Wrestler of the Year. Oh my gosh, everybody's out to get me. And I wasn't feeling it. And the fact that I was up 8-0 against China in the medal round, like in the finals, it hurts my heart because it brings me right back to 2020 or 2016 where I didn't pull the trigger, where I was doubting myself in that moment, and I let that doubt carry me into a loss. And it was heartbreaking, and it's kind of embarrassing on how it happened, but when you lose 8-8 and you're up 8-0 and you got plenty of time, it doesn't reflect on my wrestling. It reflects on my mindset, because everybody knows what I'm capable of, and she knows what I'm capable of too.
So just go get another takedown then, right?
Yeah, just go get another takedown. But my heart goes out to what's happening in China, because there's a lot of bad stuff going on. So, gosh.
Anything else for us?
No, thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate being here in Iowa. I appreciate all these girls. They're so in tune and like ready to learn and just ready to have fun. And I love that. That's one of the reasons why I'm so excited to be a coach. Just to bring that energy and to bring that influence. So thank you guys again for watching Track Wrestling, and stay tuned for whatever else he has.